First thing on the agenda is Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, approval of last meeting's minutes.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Passed. Any conflicts of interest? No? Okay, does anyone from the public have any comments? Nope. Going on to old business, program project updates.
Okay, good afternoon. Elise Raffa, Community Development Coordinator. In regards to the Rio Roundabouts, we recently had a phone call with the developer, and his schedule is being pushed back, which of course is going to push our schedule. They're hoping to have approval in September from the board for the project. So depending on that, we're looking to release this RFQ in January of 2025. And then that would give about a year with the expectation of install between January and May of 2026 is their timeline for now. So we're just going to chill. And come January.
Just to give you another detail, Susan Cora's Office of Community Development, when Elise says approval of the project, what's happening is that the Rio Town Center has the south portion, and then they have the roadway, because they're doing so much roadway work on 707. So that's the piece they need to wait for approval, final approval from the board. And then we can move on. So it wasn't approval for the art project, it was approval for the construction. Yeah.
And that's why you're still sat here.
Nobody asked.
Okay, and then moving on, what do I have next on here? Sorry. What was my second thing?
Mooring fields.
The mooring field, yes. So if we can push that up. So attached is a draft of a request for proposals for the mooring field facility. As you all know, the community was interested in having a mosaic. So in this, we have it all outlined, the community overview, about art in public places, the project description. Building is scheduled to be open at the end of February 2025, according to Public Works. We have the related departments outlined. And budget, eligibility. And so I would just ask for you all to make a motion to approve, and then I'll work with Public Works to get a more concrete timeline.
So I can't remember how this comes into the budget. Is it 15,000 we're putting out?
Yes, so we, the Public Art Advisory Committee agreed to not to exceed 15,000. We did, however, add a signage piece to it. Not sure how much difference that makes. It's a large mosaic, so I don't really know the costs of that. Nancy, do you have any ideas about that? Because it's a pretty big mosaic, and we have added the signage to it. One of the reasons why we wanted to do that is that the community's been asking for quite a while, and Jamie can attest to this as well at NAC meetings, that people don't know that there's a lovely boardwalk there, or, now they're not going to know what this facility is. So it would be nice to have some signage there that directed folks out of the street and onto the boardwalk instead of, again, walking in the street. So that's why we thought this might be a great opportunity to do that, because the artist, whoever that may be, can design something for the facility and something complementary for the signage, so that it's not all ad hoc, that it's kind of, yes, thank you. So that's why we put that piece in there. And I don't know if is there a per foot cost for Mosaic? Is there anything like that? We didn't find anything like that, and I wasn't sure.
Nancy Turrell, Executive Director of Martin Arts. I can't remember how much Brenda was paid for the beach mosaics, but that was a really long time ago. I'm thinking that the mosaic on the Memorial Park bathrooms was in this $15,000 to $20,000 range, but that's pretty extensive.
It is, yes. And
So I think your number's probably,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
I think so.
Well, I guess we'll know once you put it out there.
Right.
Nobody responds, then we'll know.
Has our maintenance experience with the mosaics we have pretty consistent with the other art that we have to maintain?
Mosaics are fairly easy to
Are they?
maintain,
Yeah.
because really all you have to do is clean them.
And every few years, we have to repair the one at the beach?
Well, because that's a ceramic relief, that's a little bit different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What happens to the one at the beach, unfortunately, is that kids climb on it and people touch it, and since it's all very 3D, stuff falls off or whatever, gets cracked. Yeah. Mosaics seem to be fairly low maintenance. Yeah.
Any other discussion? Do we have any motions?
I'll make a motion to approve the draft.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay.
Approved.
Hey,
Got a project.
Thank you.
okay.
Any other?
Nope, and that's all I have with that.
So, if that's the case, moving on to public comments?
Oh.
Or,
No, sorry. No, I'm a first timer. I'm so sorry. Okay, so next we were going to talk about the updates that I have. So as we discussed last meeting, I've been doing some website updates for Art in Public Places that have included, rearranging how we're looking at all of the art. So as you can see, everything is now separated by area within the county versus just having one long list. I think as a user, that's easier. It was also noted by you all that it would be very cool to click on the piece and have it linked directly to where it's at. So we have that capability now. And just so that is what's going on here. I do want to do more of a comprehensive tour. So this is just more of a overview, but my ideas with the tour is be it narrated video, hopefully with the artist that made the piece, that talks about the idea of the work, their artist statement, a little of their history to make it more engaging for everyone. My other updates include the Hope Sound Library. Susan and I recently met with them to discuss their upcoming project, which includes 2 book benches. It'll be facing more Dixie Highway than, I guess, what's the other road name that's there?
US 1,
No.
next to our church.
Anyway, it's facing more Dixie Highway.
Rollway?
Yeah.
Rollway, is it?
Oh, yes, that's it. So she gave clarification on that, and I have a note here. Their theme for the mural they want to do is wildlife reading or being read to. That was the winning choices of their staff, so we're going to work on creating a call to artists for your review for the next meeting. And so that should be a really great project. That mural has potential to be enormous, so we're really excited about that. And then the other update I had was, I know we were discussing nature signage at the patio, Palm City Place. So I had done a little digging on what we had spent for Ripple and the signage that's out there. So those 12 by 18 signs just for the sign itself were $800 apiece. Just food for thought. The design part, if we wanted to move forward with this, I could do, and we know that Dr. Centel would be donating his photographs. So I'll leave it to you all to keep on.
Rex, what do you have in your, photographic satchel, if you will? What do you have that you think would work for it? Because what I was thinking is that it might be worthwhile for us to come up with a number of them. How many do we want to do?
Well, when I donated them for the telephone or the light boxes, I gave Commissioner Campy around 200 of the birds.
So do you have any specific ones that you think work
Well,
best for the Palm City
think-
Place?
I think it's what we've seen over there. And
Right.
I've seen several, which I could go over with you. I also have an alligator with his neck on the fountain.
That actually is a really cool photo. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that. So I would suggest maybe if you all are interested in taking this up as a project. I did bring budget sheets, but I don't know what I did with them. So we can always bring it up on the computer, but what I do recall is in our capital projects budget, at the end of this year, I believe we'll have something like $40,000, and that's with spending the $20,000 for Hobe Sound, which we're not going to do probably in fiscal year '24. That won't happen till '25. Come October 1st, we get our next 50. So we certainly have it in the budget to do that if it is the will of the committee to have us move forward on doing that.
Yeah, I'd like to see,
Go to the other one.
how many signs we're going to do and what it would cost.
Yeah, so if you would like, we can move ahead and go to capital. So 43, I was pretty close. And the expenditures for 2024, we will not be spending the Rio Roundabout money yet. So we have that in the kitty. And the 20,000 for the library. The others are spent.
Can we just invest the Rio Roundabout money into something?
Like mutual funds? Like, what are we
Bitcoin.
talking about? Because that's where I'm going.
If we'd started with Bitcoins when this started, we'd have like $500,000.
We would have so much art.
Have a Bitcoin in the roundabout?
Retire on Rio Roundabout funding.
We had a discussion
That would
about,
be interesting.
about transformers and other utilities being wrapped. I don't know if that's something that perhaps we could
Yeah,
look
we
into.
did look at that. There's two ways to look at that. You've got the entire county, because Art in Public Places is a countywide project. So I had kind of looked at it as, I was looking at doing that kind of thing per CRA, because I just think it's more manageable. Because how would we decide,
Where?
Art in Public Places, where you were going to put them? And then do we have to go out for RFP, or do we, when you do it in a smaller chunk, might make more sense. And again, that's up for discussion, you all
That
can.
makes sense.
I will tell you that Commissioner Campy's the one that funded the ones in Palm
Yes.
City. And he used Ambersand, and I've also used them once for the oceanographic that I did. And they're really good about what they do.
Yeah. And they're local. They're right here. I don't know who did we use for, I don't know who Lucy used for Ripple.
Oh, Sinorama.
Sinorama, okay.
I would just extend from the CRAs, the neighborhood around all the schools that we have, because that would seem like a ideal spot to have that, particularly the lower level schools where a lot of the kids are walking there and stuff.
And would be able
Getting
to-
car line and everything else
yep.
where people are going to see it.
Yep,
you know?
that would be manageable, yeah.
Yeah, right,
If we just said, let's do it near
right,
elementary and middle schools.
right.
That's kind of cool. We could do that.
I like that idea.
We can certainly add that to our list.
Right.
And then on the signage for all the art, it makes me remember that we have those sculptures that we were thinking about whether to sell, loan out, or do something with. So clearly spending money on signage for those wouldn't be worthwhile, but maybe getting an idea what the count would be of the appropriate signage for the art that we do want to put signs on would be, like that estimate from you guys would be
I
helpful.
think we have, don't we have signs on everything?
We do?
Yeah,
Okay.
New signs, the new logos and all that.
yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, perfect.
I think we, that,
The ones that don't have the new signs are the pieces at Stuart Beach, and then I think there was one more, but the Stuart Beach I think is the only one that doesn't have it. Ceramic
and
related.
we're working on that one now, yeah.
Okay, great.
You know, we can certainly add that, wrapping the boxes to this, but that does not answer my question about Palm City Place. And if you guys want to do that. So if we're looking at $800 per, and we are thinking about a finite number, how many animals would you say do we need to talk about? 5? 4?
There's probably been about 5 or 6 bird species there, and then alligator if you want to do that.
Okay.
Haven't seen any other wildlife that I've seen so far.
Okay. We will, if you would all like, we will go back and get a specific price for that. That will include
Taking away-
installation and et cetera.
Is this taking away from your ideas to concentrate it in the community redevelopment areas by going countywide with this?
I liked Rich's idea of the countywide, you know, doing it near schools. No, that could be 2 separate. Yeah, no, we can still do that.
Good. I think it's a good idea. I like the idea. I think,
Okay.
you know, they're just generic, the current condition of utility boxes.
So we can look at, you know, maybe doing a couple of schools per CRA. Let's see what school, we don't have elementary schools, I think, in each one.
No schools in
think so.
Golden Gate, so.
No, but
All
Hope
right, we'll
Sound's got
take
a
look at
couple.
that.
Don't have any in Jensen, just the high school.
Okay. Then maybe it doesn't have to, anything to do with the CRA, it's just
Right.
wherever the schools are.
Right.
Okay, we'll take a look at what's there, so we can look at how many that might be.
Oh, we do have Jensen Beach Elementary.
Yeah,
I live 3 blocks away from it, but I
yeah, so we'll just look at it countywide.
I'm not sure time frame or anything, but Commissioner Smith came to me and asked if I would donate for some in Jensen Beach. I don't know if he's doing the whole thing or whatever.
Hey,
He just approached me one time, and I don't know if it's going to happen or not. So,
I'm not going to remind him.
As long as you guys leave something for my Camino.
Was he, oh, we got plenty. Was he referring to wrapping the boxes?
yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
I like the idea around the schools, but I'm also thinking like the little downtown areas. Like every area has like a little downtown area,
Also playgrounds for the kids.
which is usually near the downtown areas, you know? Yeah. A lot of them.
All right, we'll discuss what looks like it might work, like be the most apparent, the most visible.
Okay.
We'll take a look at that and bring something back.
Great.
Are we doing anything with the patio?
Yeah, we're just going to get costs.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's all I have now.
Okay. Anything else, Susan?
No, I'm just so excited about the Martys now. Wow.
Okay, let's go on. Comments, public? Anyone from the public have any comments? No? Members?
I do have one.
Yes.
Can you make a note for somebody to check out the mosaic at Indian Riverside Park? I was there a couple of weeks ago, and there are probably 7 or 8
At the
pieces
mansion?
missing. At the mansion,
Oh, missing?
yeah.
Oh, that guy was just there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know.
No, okay,
but-
this was a couple of months ago at least, but that's weird.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just happened to go up there for grins and giggles, and I was like, oh, it's missing pieces.
That's so funny, the guy from that studio. Remember that day, Naomi, and we missed each other, and it was pouring rain, and my umbrella broke? Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But the good news was he told me that the mosaic looked fine.
Anyone else? Staff?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and adjourn the meeting then.